If you're watching this video, you're tired of getting scammed, following alerts, chasing others, and you're still asking why you're not profitable. Well, you're not profitable because you're buying the last indicator on YouTube, on Instagram, you're following the wrong trading rooms, you don't want to invest in your formation, and that's the same error that I did when I started, but then I changed. I've been trading for a living for 17 years, and then in the last 7 years, I have a trading room where I mentor traders. And today I'm going to reveal you the strategy that thousands of traders in my room, yes, thousands of traders in my room, are using to make a living in the markets, being that they trade futures, being they trade options or stocks. And some of them became multimillionaire traders. Well, everybody wants something simple, right? Following alerts. But I can tell you trading is not like that. You need to learn how to fish. You don't want the fish. You want to fish yourself for a lifetime. But I can tell you that I also didn't perform good. Why? In the start of the year, for example, my performance was not that good. I had a small account challenge, started with 5K, and after 2 weeks, I simply said, no, it's not working. I was around 5K when I finished, break even, and I didn't perform. Why? Because I didn't backtest the market, and the market has changed. Backtesting is something that I did every single year since I started. And every single year, the market changes. Bull scenario, bear scenario, sideways action, news, algos, all change. And this year, what we have Trump. So since the Trump era, we have to be more, I would say, adverse to the news, the impact that have the news, the different volume, the different algorithms. So what I tell you is follow with me because I will break down the strategy that will make you profitable this year. The JLines system is the system that right now is one of the most profitable systems out there, and thousands of traders are using it. I'm also releasing in the next months a full bot for traders so they can simply follow the bot and trade themselves. Of course, always learn first the price action. This is how I set my charts. And also I want to tell you that in the same way that I screen share right now, I screen share during the day in my live trading room, but I also screen share my entries, my exits, being that I'm up 4 figures or down 5 figures with the broker. So you see exactly live trading. And this is what I've been doing for almost 2 decades. Tesla over here is the first time frame, 4 hours that I'm looking at. Why? Because it's the longer time frame is what gives me the macro direction. And I'm looking for those key levels of support and resistance. In this case, we can see that we have a tight narrow consolidation between 323 and also over here 311. So we have this consolidation. The narrower, the better for our trading purposes because we're looking for breakouts. The second chart I'll be looking is the hourly chart. Is a confirmation of the 4 hours. Sometimes in the 4 hours, you won't see those maybe cups or range consolidation, but this is clearly another cup consolidation. You can see over here. And this is like the breakout. 50 minutes, it gives us the setup. So I'm looking always the 50 minutes for the confirmation of the 1 hour and 4 hour chart. And that is the lower time frame. And then the 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and sometimes also the 1 minute, for example, if you're trading small caps, and especially the gate, we know that small caps are very fast. Well, in this case, the lower time frame, the best one is to use the 5 minutes, which give me the timing of entry. It breaks down the microstructure, and I have the bot that is working on the 5 minutes and 50 minutes the best. On the 5 minutes, we're having on certain stocks 82% win rate in this market. Now, we saw before that we have this resistance over here, 323, 324. This is 930. So 930 price opens, pops, fails, and then it closes over here. So you can see this bar is light blue. So it's not a bar confirmed for the long. In this case, I'm starting to think about the long. So it can be a starter, a feeler, but the confirmation will be only on the blue bars. The 3 bands that you see, 1, 2, and 3, this is the JLines 1 is the most important. This is the JLines 3, this is the JLines 5. In order to be bullish, you can see up here, we have to have all the JLines in this direction, okay? And over here, you will see all green. So you will see the JLines 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes, also daily and 4 hours. While the price retraces over here, so pulls back around 935, 940, And then we form over here this bar 945. We start having a cup pattern, a first cup pattern with the first bar breaking and closing above the JLines and closing blue. This is the entry. You will see the system alerting the bot. The system takes into consideration the volume, and you can see the volume over here, pressure is the majority over here, the volume, at least 50% plus, okay? So more than 50% blue, so we have more buyers than sellers. Then you see over here the long, and then you can apply a trend line break. Sometimes you'll apply channels, cups, flags, pennants, and more. So I enter on this bar. I place my stop generally below the low of the previous bar, or if I want to be aggressive below this bar, the system tells us to place the stop just below the JLines, the first one, this over here, so just like a few cents below. And then what I'm looking for at least 3-hour return, even 4 in this market. So if I'm risking, let's say $1, I want to look for $3 to $4 as a return. Then until these bars will be dark blue, right? So this electric blue, I want to hold the position. So over here, I will take out parts of the position. And you can see this trade went for a couple of points. Then we start having like a flat over here, mid-morning session, as we like really used to see in this market. And then we have another big consolidation that we can see better, as we said before, on a 50-minute chart. This is the entry that we had on the 5 minutes. So this is on the 50 minutes, right? Then we had this big consolidation. The system over here is starting to alert possible long position, long position, long position. And then we have our trendline break. Well, this trendline break is confirmed over here on a 5-minute chart from this. This is the second entry. So we have our trendline break, which we saw also on the 50-minute chart. Over here, we have the blue bar finally arriving on a 5 minutes. We have also our system giving the long, and we have to wait for the break over here of the high. As you can see before, even if we had over here a long play, we didn't have any kind of breakout, price was failing. And over here, where you can see that we didn't have any kind of breakout. Actually, all these help to form this cup pattern accumulation. And this is exactly after this candle over here where I want to enter. And also where the 50-minute confirms. And this is all the trend we take. You can see that we pass over here from 322 until over here 337. And you can actually trade or Tesla, or you can trade, for example, TSLL, which is much cheaper, like around 25, 30 bucks. And then we have other two long plays, but over here we're near the close. Once we start, as I said before, fading below the JLines, we take off the entire position. Another stock that we really like to trade, has been trending, has been like very strong in the last couple of months, is PLTR. PLTR, we can see over here again, we have a cup pattern on the 4-hour chart. So I start right away alerting my room the day that we had over here a possible breakout. When we start alerting, the price was down here, 118. So this is 8 o'clock. We start having the push, this bar at 4 hours, and then we move to an hourly chart. And you can see over here what happens on the hourly. So we start having our cup pattern, price gets into the hourly JLines, and this is a very important level. This JLines over here, as I said, there's a free video, actually 2 free videos on my YouTube that explain you entirely the system, the strategy, right? And this is the breakout that comes over here. Even on the hourly, you can see the system gives a long. So in case you want to swing, this is a good strategy to swing. And then we go to the 50-minute chart because I need that confirmation. I want to see that the market actually is confirming what I have a longer time frame. And we can see over here that the price start bouncing at 9:30 exactly from the JLines. You see always this band over here. Now, the best A+ setup for me is to wait for this breakout. Sometimes you will actually miss it if you only wait for this. So sometimes I would like anticipate the trade, maybe if all the futures are going strong, or if I'm looking for the break of this level over here, and I would enter directly over here. But in this case, we're looking at the strategy to the T. So what we're doing over here, we're waiting for the first breakout, okay? And then this is the daily level. And you can see that on the daily level, we move over here from 119 all until up over here 123.70. We have a pullback around 10:15, And then at around 10, 10, 15, 10, 30 is the moment that or where we consolidate, we have a pullback, and then the trade continues to move, especially if we are outside the previous trading range, or it pulls all the way back, because trading is like this, psychological, okay? So if the move is not strong enough, it will reverse. It will probably come all the way down, like we've seen so many times in 2024 where the market was starting to push and then actually it faded. In this case, the market pulls back over here into the JLines. You see that we have all our candles blue. In this case, they are light blue, breakout with the dark blue, and then a big move to the upside. As I said, 15, 5, and 3, and where we have actually the confirmation on the 3-minute chart, we have also our bot. So until the trend is up, we're looking to trade long. All the J lines over here are bullish, we're looking to stay long. The candles are blue or light blue, we're looking to stay long. The green arrows over here, they look like Christmas trees, but the green arrows over here, they tell us to stay in a long position. And this is the exit. Once we break the J lines and we start fading, I want to exit the entire position. So this was a move, traders, that from over here, the beginning of the move, we had 120 to enter. But if we follow the system to the T, so waiting also for that 4 hours and 1 hour breakout, we're looking to enter around 123.15, and we exit the last part around 129. That's a nice 6 points per share move. Small caps. Small caps are the big beast. Small caps are also those stocks that with a very small flow, they can simply run even 100, 200. I saw small caps in the last 7 years that I'm trading small caps moving in a day 700, 800%. So this is a stock that moved in May, is EDBL, but we had so many. Generally 3 or 4 a week, they will run like this. And in this case, we see again the same pattern, the same structure. So we have a high, then we have a consolidation over here, our narrow consolidation, the narrower the better. And then over here, we have the scalp pattern form. And this is, as you see, a 4-hour chart. We wait for the breakout, and then you can see all the price moving up. Also in the breakout, the system will trigger over here along. But in small cap plan, you have to be very careful because often the market will give you fake outs. Let's move down to an hourly chart. This is our breakout. You can see that it breaks, consolidates, and over here we have really what forms to be a cup pattern with a handle. And then we move down to the 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 3-minute chart. As I told you before, you can bypass this and maybe use a 50 minutes, 5 minutes, and 1-minute chart if you want to see more in depth, because I know there are some traders that are using the 1 or 2 minutes time frame to trade small caps, all right, especially scalpers. Personally, I don't suggest to go lower than a 3 minutes, especially if you get into 10, 10, 30, that the market can be a little bit more choppy. So try to stick more to the 15 and 5-minute chart. So this is on a 15 minutes. You can see that it start consolidating. The system gives over here a long, is on the J lines. We have the breakout, and over here, what? This is a break. In this break over here, this is a long around 324, 325. It goes to 376, 380. So it goes for about 50 cents over here, which is a pretty good profit. Comes back, so you can decide to give out break even or to risk, as you know, the JLines, the low of this bar over here. In this case, the price consolidates. So this is the midday chop again. And then we have the afternoon session where we have another breakout. And the price starts moving from around $3 all the way up over here for more than 100%. But I want to go to the 5-minute chart to show you in depth how you can really profit. And this setup here will make you a millionaire. Millionaire because a lot of the traders that are in the room are using it to make a paycheck every single day. And as I told you, there are some of our traders who became multimillionaire. And how is this strategy formed? So we're talking about, again, this major on a 50-minute chart, 1-hour chart, and 4-hour chart, long consolidation pattern. Now, you have always to wait that the price is above the J lines. Yes, you have always to wait that the price is light blue or even better, blue. You always have to wait that the price over here is signaling a long play. So don't enter when you are down here because we don't know that the price will actually have a breakout. Wait that the system shows you the breakout and then you can enter. So the first moment that I'm interested over here is once we are near the resistance and we have this tight narrow consolidation, and this is the top of the resistance system is giving over here along into the breakout, and then also two small bars over here doji. So this bar is a confirmation of entry. That's your risk. And you can see also over here the volume that is passing now is increasing with the amount over here of buyers at least 2 times more versus the sellers, which are red. This indicator is something we coded, and it's not only a volume pressure, it also quantifies the speed that we have in this momentum play. So it not only gives me, oh, we have 2/3 of this volume over here being from buyers, but actually tells me the speed that we have inside. And that tells me also the strength. So it tells me if a confirmation of a breakout. And then again, you can see after the breakout, you start waiting again for those long plays. As you can see over here, long. This is into after hours, and then I move to the upside. Futures, they work so good. And we have several traders in futures in the room where I trade with them each day. Often, last year I had 140 traders from the States and other places in the world coming over here in my trading academy. As you can see, we're building a new one, much bigger. It's going to be with 20 trading stations, so something incredible. So we organize something like a prop firm. And so traders can actually trade next to me every single time they come for 1, 2, or more days. In this case, NQ, this is a trade we took on the 13th. And we can see on the 4-hour chart, what? And actually a break of the level. So this is the first thing. And of course, it's not that we're going to wait for the breakout to alert it. No, we need to see the market. So this is what we see in the market, right? The first thing is we're going to look for the breakout over here. Then we put the high. We start looking over here that is consolidated. And remember that narrow trading range, narrow consolidation. And then once we are breakout, then we're going to go into the hourly 15, 5, 3 minutes to see what's actually happening. So let's break it down. 1-hour chart. So this is the first break of the day. And this is the break that we're talking around 8 o'clock. As you know, futures, they can move 8:30 also in the morning if they're like that, if there's news. And also I would say that with the era Trump, you always have to be prepared because sometimes we'll have like these trades coming at different times of the day, maybe 1:30 p.m. where's no FOMC or PMI. So you have to be always very careful. The next step, move down to the 50-minute chart. And you can see the 50-minute chart, even if it doesn't give us a long, which gives over here much earlier. Everything is blue. Everything is above the JLines. We have a dip into JLines and pop. That's like a dip and rip. Okay, it's called really like dip and rip or gap and go. 5-minute chart as well. And then I'm still looking for the actual confirmation. And here we have it. Dips, system of 3 minutes gives the long play. We have our breakout that we are looking for. Bar becomes blue, so this becomes my long entry. That's gonna become my risk just below the J lines. And then I can simply write this. The first partial, as I said, I will sell it once the bar over here are changing colors. So from the aqua or deep blue, they will fail, they will transform into light blue. Over here, I get actually out generally 1/3 or half if I have already like a good amount in my pocket. Generally on NQ, I want to see at least 100, 150 points. And then over here, again, we have another long play, so we can continue until we are above the J line. So you can see over here the price that it goes from an entry at 21,000 more or less, and it goes up for about 300. Now, in order to become profitable, you only have to do one thing: follow the strategy. Don't follow your emotions. Most traders fail because they rely on feelings. They rely on emotions. I know that trading is interesting, but you cannot let your emotion dictate your trading because they will hijack you. So what I say always is respect the system, follow the J lines, follow the market, and follow the volume. The biggest mistake that I ever did in my life was oversizing. Oversizing when I was still not ready to trade. And that's also the main error that I see from newbies joining the room or newbies that I have to coach as a mentor. So traders are still like an expert. They try to right away size up, leverage to make right away money because maybe they have a lot of expenses, they have a lot of expectations. but that's the wrongest thing to do. You have to start very small. It's just like before we said about going fish. If I go fish right away for a barracuda, shark, I will probably won't be able to, not even pull it up on the boat. I start with small fishes, maybe a few pounds, then I move like to 20 pounds, then 50 pounds. In 1 year, I will be able, or 2 years, I will be able to fish like a big tuna of maybe like 300 or 400 pounds. So start small and progress up slowly. Another thing that I can tell you is the system actually works. In the room, we share all the back testing. We share all the data driven from this because we have an app, which is a software, JTrader, that can actually make back tests on our site. And this is also shared in the room, so you can actually see. But I tell you that once you finish the day, you don't have simply to close your computer and going away because maybe you have something else to do. Well, if you have to do something, you can do this later, but start like recording your screen, look at that as you did, and then keep a report card. You can simply, hey, Jay, message me and I will give you something directly for you. Actually, let's do this. Write in the comment below, report card, share this link, so share the video, put a like, and I will send it to you, directly to you. And this is a report card with everything you have to do in order to become a more successful trader, a better trader. And this is something that a lot of my 6- and 7-figure traders who became successful, of course, with time, now they're using every single day. It's an important key of your learning curve. So if you want to learn the system, I can tell you one thing. This, memorize it, study it, and then apply it every single day. You want to come to trade with me? Well, 21st to the 25th of July or 8th to the 12th of September. Sit next to me. Often we have even the brokers like we had in Wall Street. We made a 3 days in Wall Street with one of the best brokers in the States. We went to the NICE, we went in Denver, Miami, Dubai, Spain, and now in Italy. I just had a competition where I finished second a couple of days ago behind one of the world champion of trading, John Hoffman. If you want to learn the system, well, then you can start trading with me. You can start in the room, where you simply can try the room for $50 for 2 weeks, and then you have a 40% discount at $9.49 for a full year. Or you can simply come to trade with me in Italy. We finished just a competition a couple of days ago, and I came second in the Italian trading event against Rob J. Hoffman. He's a world trading champion. I finished second, not bad. The room was full, more than 300 traders. This all live with one of the best brokers, for example, in Italy. We had some seminars at Wall Street when one of the best brokers in the States, Cobra, and then we're in Dubai, Spain. We had in Denver for 2 consecutive years. So you can simply come to me 21st to the 25th of July or 8th to the 12th of September.